wanna get freaky. I said cool, that's fine. She wanna get way too comfortable. There's no way you can come round mine. Plus, she wanna link so early. I'm only beating things after 9. But if she does that thing with finesse, calm, boo, you can be my wife.
Hey guys, it's Kella and welcome back to Under the Covers with Kella on BDTV. As you can see, I'm looking like a psychologist today, so maybe you can kind of tell what today's episode is going to be about. Only joking, I've got work in like half an hour and I've decided to film a video instead. So I have finally had enough of talking about sex for today. I promised you guys we're going to be talking about sex and relationships. And today I'm going to talk about all the relationships, every single one of the relationships. As we all know, I am unable to keep a man for longer than 5 minutes. I can literally get to the meeting the family stage and then that's it. I get like blocked and deleted and thank you and goodbye. But with each situationship I've kind of noticed like a similar pattern in each, and I kind of wanted to find out whether or not other people have like similar experiences to mine. Yesterday I took to Instagram to create a series of questions just to see if other people can relate to situations like mine. At first it kind of started with, okay, I'm just going to do it on just toxic relationships, because each relationship I've been with there's always been like that some form of toxic trait. But then as time was kind of going on and like I was doing more questions throughout the day, and I was realising that a lot of the questions started turning into really big ats. Yeah, so if any of you lot are watching this that I've ever been into a situationship with, I said what I said. That's it. So I quite like doing the questions on Instagram because I haven't got like a massive following, but it's quite interesting just to see what other people, like how the people's minds work. So the first question that I asked on Instagram was, what would you consider a toxic relationship? And a lot of people said lying, controlling behaviour was one, controlling and manipulative, breaking trust. I kind of saw like a similar pattern in each and every one, which was kind of good. But what made it interesting for me was that nobody kind of picked up on the physical and emotional aspects of it. So like emotionally manipulating someone into not doing something, or I guess some people are kind of fortunate enough to not be on the physical abuse side, but so they don't really kind of think about that. But again, it was kind of just something that, you know, was down to interpretation and your own experiences. The second question that I asked is liking another girl's or guy's pic whilst you're in a relationship a no-go? There's a reason why I asked this question. This question seems to, I think, come up a hell of a lot when you're speaking with girls and like your friends and things like that. I know from my own similar experiences, like if I was with a guy, and I think another girl's picture, it's kind of like you're not really fussed about it. I mean, like I've never really been particularly fussed about it. It's kind of like if I know that person's with me, then I've kind of got nothing to worry about. And if I like other guys' pictures, then there's kind of like not really that much of a problem. But then I kind of guess in the same token, if you're seeing somebody and like your feelings for them are really like that intense and you see them liking somebody else's picture, you do feel like this burning sensation. Like I've felt that burning more than once. So the answers that I gave were absolutely, as in like, yeah, that you cannot be liking another girl's or guy's picture in a relationship, and the other one was, what's your problem? Because there shouldn't really be that much of a problem. 75% people said, what's the problem? Which I kind of think is quite good. So 75%, that was 88 people. That's brilliant. I'm glad you guys can kind of like, you know, I think it's quite good if you don't let something like that actually bother you. Because you never know, they just might be friends, it could be family. Like there was one time that I saw, okay, there was this one guy that I was not seeing, and I saw somebody like comment something on like underneath his picture, and I was going absolutely burning, like I just felt like this burning sensation like right here, like I was fully about to go fucking mad. And it wasn't until I'd done like my own little research and snooping I realised it was like a distant cousin. I was like, oh. I did what I did. I don't even know. The question was, would you be okay with your man or your girl spending time with their ex? Now, there is a reason. Every question that I ask, there is actually a reason or a story behind it. So, yeah, no. I wouldn't be... I think if it was like an ex, like a first boyfriend from like you were 13, 14, 15, whatever, fine. And you know that there's like no feelings there and they're with you and you can trust that, then calm. But if it's somebody that's recently still admitted that they're still in love with you and you're going, oh yeah, no, I'm going to go take you to the fucking cinema, I'm going to be a little bit like, hold on. No, I'm not. No, it's not for me. So to cut a long story short, 75% of people said no. Some people did say yes and their answers were actually quite interesting. Obviously, again, it was around the trust thing. Like if it was from a couple of years ago, then, you know, they've got nothing to worry about, which I actually think is really good. But as long as that boundary is kind of set, that there's nothing going on, then fine. If somebody you were dating had a mental health issue, would you penalise them for that? Why? Now, there was a reason as to why I've asked this question. I mean, there's going to be a reason for every single question because obviously I'm relating to my own experiences. I previously mentioned that I do suffer with anxiety and depression, and I've been on medication for that for about 4 years. Because of that, it's made forming any form of relationship really hard. It's meant maintaining friendships really difficult, because sometimes I can have sudden outbursts that aren't, I guess it's just my panic attacks that I can get quite aggressive with that. So yeah, I have lost a lot of friends, and often or not I do find myself being on my own. Relationships have never really lasted because obviously the trust issues and that side of things. Like I've just never been able to kind of fully trust somebody. So the fact that I kind of went away with somebody was a really big thing for me, because I was just putting all my trust into one person. I was like, okay, I'm not expecting a marriage proposal by tomorrow, but it's a big thing for me to go away with you. And that went to shit. So that's a little bit of a background, like your girl's mentally fucked. I asked the mental health question because I remember speaking to this one guy many moons ago, and I said, oh yeah, no, and like, he was like, what are you doing today? I was like, oh, I've got a doctor's appointment. Oh, what's a doctor's appointment for? And I was like, oh, I was just like to talk about my anxiety and my depression. This guy actually blocked me on everything. I didn't hear from him. To be honest with you, I didn't really care, because some people either kind of take it as, oh right, okay, and they'll either be there for you or they just won't be there for you at all. So I kind of knew it was going to go one way or the other. I just wasn't expecting in this day and age that was going to happen. Anyway, this question started off really, really well. It started with 100% people saying no, and I was like, I love you guys for it, so thank you so much. And then it started to really piss me off. So I had 115 people vote on this question. 111 people voted no. You are great people. I hope you sleep well. 3% of you, however, I hope you can all go and suck a dick, because quite frankly, it's really hard being in your own mind every fucking day and not being able to cope with it. And when I ask people, because if I see that people have voted yes, I would ask them to like give a valid answer. Nobody could answer that. You would penalise somebody over their mental health, but you can't answer why. So the next question was, would you ever try to change the person you are dating so they fit the ideal image in your head? Now this one was quite interesting. Reason behind this one, story time yet again. When I was getting dropped, one comment that I had was, I always try to change somebody in the way that I kind of like them. So I was like, as in, so for example, if I don't like somebody smoking, I'll drop the, you know what, I really don't like smoking, until they stop smoking. This sort of mindset to me, I cannot fucking stand. I've come from a very abusive background where it can start off with really small things. Then it would be like, okay, I don't really like you smoking. But then again, if you're with somebody that smokes, put up with that. If you like them enough, then you would be able to stomach that. Why would you then just, I don't know. But anyway, so because I've come from such a violent background, it's kind of like, well, it can start off with, okay, well, I don't like you smoking, and then it can start off with, okay, well, I don't really like the particular lipstick that you're wearing, and then it'll be like, okay, well, I don't like the outfit that you're wearing, that's absolutely disgusting, and it'll just get more and more physical and emotional. So there's a reason as to why I asked that question, and it's because if you are ever with somebody and you want to try and change them to fit the ideal image in your head, it's not going to fucking work. Don't do it. Example, I'm not a yes girl. I think a lot of guys that I've been with, they just want this perfect little yes girl that I'll just go, yes, I'll just drop to my knees every time that you ask me to, and yes, I'll do this for you, and yes, I'll do that for you, and it never fucking works. Just because that's the image that they want in their head, where a girl will go ahead and do absolutely everything for them, and I'm not that. I'm not your mum to be doing absolutely everything for you. Like, you build your empire, I'll build mine. That's it. So you ever tried to change me to fit the ideal image in your head, you might as well just get up and go, because it's just not going to happen. And I think that's kind of what people have been slowly realising. 91% people said no, and 9% of people said yes. This one was quite an interesting one, because for the people that I did actually answer yes, they had like really good answers. They were kind of like, okay, well, if you're not willing to change, then how can we grow? So then I asked, okay, well, what about in terms of mental health? Because there's been times where I've been penalised for my mental health, and if I can't change that, then people kind of just get up and leave. And they were like, oh no, if that's the case, then I will support them. And I thought that was really good, and that was really nice. I don't think there was anything, any malicious intent, which I thought was really, really good. But yeah, no, it was quite interesting. And I'm kind of glad that when I asked people yes, they actually had decent answers to kind of give me, as opposed to like, so I just said yes just to say yes. Okay. To be fair, this one was a really big and I didn't realise it was until I'd done it, but you know what, I said what I said, heal from what I said, or you can stay mad. Do you ever take a girl to meet your family, whether it be in this country or a different one, if you had no intention of making them yours? Now this one was kind of techie, because 22 people voted yes. When I asked these people, well, okay, well, you voted yes, why? A lot of you guys were kind of like, okay, I didn't really see the no bit, so maybe I should have just made that bigger for future references. But a lot of you said no, because obviously it's unfair, it's out of order. Why would you fly somebody out, or why would you go through the effort of taking somebody to meet your family if you had no intention? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Other people that did say yes and they didn't misread it, it was more like, again, it was quite nice answers, like, okay, well, if I know that we're not going to be friends, I would still like you to be around the other people that I trust. And I thought that was really nice as well. But again, I think boundaries should be made. Not boundaries, but kind of like, this is the standard that you should set. Like, okay, we're going to go away, or I'm going to take you to meet my mum, but we're just friends. Or even if you kind of like, you stuck it as just like a friendly thing, and then you just so happen to meet the parents, but like, oh, by the way, this is a new friend, and and it's really nice, and all of that shit. I just think that's something that should be established. Alternatively, ladies, if a man wants to end things with you just so he can do singleton things and then decides to come back when it suits him, would you take him back? Now, I did start getting saltier and saltier throughout this question time. 88% of you said no. I'm glad that I've seen some strong, independent women. To be fair, I kind of just wanted to ask this as terms of advice, because I think once you're kind of hung up over somebody, it's quite difficult if they go to be like, yeah, you know what, I really want to try with you. You're kind of going to want to be more inclined to go, yeah, okay. If the feelings are that strong at that time, I would probably 100%, currently, yes, I would 100% jump at the chance if he said to me, like, you know what, I made a mistake. Be like, it's okay, I'll forget about it, it's fine. 11 of you said yes, and when I asked yes and like you voted yes, why? A lot of people kind of like, okay, well at least if he's got like all the singleton things out of the way, he'll have no incline to do it whilst he's with me, which is quite a good, really good answer actually. Like I kind of appreciated that answer. So yeah, if anything, you ladies are helping me out. Currently I am crying over a man that washes his face with shampoo. Deep it. Fucking drill. For fuck's sake. The last question that I asked at the end, and this probably had more meaning to me than out of all the questions that I asked, is how many of you have been put into a situation where you feel as though you can't tell your partner how you're feeling in case you upset or anger them, and how many of you have said how you feel and the result has either been physically or emotionally damaging to you, or both. I've been through domestic violence since I was 3. That's having the shit kicked out of me, and luckily enough I think that stopped when I was around 7, 8, maybe later, I don't know. But then my relationships with men in general kind of started to dwindle over the years. I joke that I've never been able to keep a man, but it's because I'm so closed off and so scared about what's going to happen. I tend to kind of just put up and shut up, and there's been times where I've had arguments over it. Like I could have just said how I was feeling at that time, but then I kind of choose not to, just in case something happens. And I think that's kind of just like an innate reaction. So that's kind of like the reason as to why I asked this question. It was kind of sad to see a lot of people 28 people actually put speaking out had a negative turn. Obviously I don't know what that negative turn is. It could be just emotional, it could be just physical, but a lot of the people that are on my following is quite young. So to see that, it was really, really gutting. To see that even in this day and age it's still happening. I don't know. And even like the 15 that said put up and shut up, I'm a put up and shut up person, and I hate the fact that I'm a put up and shut up person. But yeah, I know, it's kind of like I don't know, I can't explain it. Okay guys, I know this video kind of got depressing towards the end, but thank you to everybody that actually participated in the questions. That was really, really helpful. Hopefully I can do like a little bit more questions like that. Not particularly like that because it kind of got a little bit shit towards the end, but it was really helpful to those who actually voted. And when I asked yes to the questions, and you gave really good answers, so thank you so much. Yeah, click like, subscribe, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you.
Say it for Benz.
I mean, can't step to the team yard. When I say me, I can't roll me, call me, multiple girl wine for me. Don't on the belly, me, I just. I mean, can't step to the team yard. When I say me, I can't roll me, call me, multiple girl wine for me. Don't on the belly, me, I gone in.